actually wanted to give each of you a small challenge to using 3 words to describe who you are.
Busy, foodie, and enthusiasm.
Scary, political, antisocial.
Okay, my 3 words for me, just some guy. Just some guy.
Just some guy.
2个女神经的对话，莫名其妙的正能量分享。Hi, I'm TingTing.
I'm KaKa.
You are in an intercultural zone between the East and the West. Each episode, we get our friends together to talk about our lives at home, away from home. 节目要开始咯。等一下，我去泡杯茶啦。
So today we actually have 3 very special guests and friends joining us today.
Woo! Ayo, Asian bosses in the house, check it out.
So first we have Nathan joining us remotely from Melbourne. So
Salute.
So Nathan and I went way back. We came from the same city. We went to the same high school in China.
Just like my sister.
Yeah, so we're all classmates. And we went to the same language school and we went to the same class in the university. So now he is the CEO and co-founder of 2 companies.
Who would have guessed?
Fancy Media and ACE Brand Communication.
Yeah, I read their Honglin articles all the time on WeChat.
Yeah, so for all the Chinese audience, you wouldn't find the name of Honglin as any strange. So also the English name is Australia Chinese News, which is one of the most influential Chinese media in Australia.
Yep.
So for the 3 words, Nathan described himself as a busy, enthusiastic foodie.
Tall and handsome. Anyways, next, oh my god, for me, dream come true. We have the opportunity to have not just some guy, Jaye from Australia. He is like the OG for the presence of the K-pop community and culture here in Sydney that every other state might envy. And we are all Jaye's classmates. And you haven't shown me your K-pop cover, man.
Yeah, well, you should forget about that. I went to Jaye's class a few years ago, and he is an amazing teacher.
He is, and he started Crossover Dance Studio 10 years ago, which teaches and crosses over different types of dance styles, so it's not just K-pop. And he even danced in front of the Prime Minister, so stay tuned.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear that stories. So last but not least, I have such an honor to introduce one of my closest friends and my older sisters, and Angela. I call her Jaye all the time.
I know, I finally got to see her. You kept her in secret for such a long time.
Yeah, well, she has positively influencing every aspect of my life. She originally come from Singapore, so now she is the founder and director of the Academy Australia. So if you want to be a K-pop idol,
like TingTing,
so you should check out their flagship events, the K-pop Bootcamp. So it is a platform to provide young talents to be discovered by entertainment agencies or to experience a life as a K-pop trainee. So the best of all is she has over 15 years working in the financial institutions technology space.
Wow.
And 7 years as an entrepreneur.
So she's also the full package.
Yeah, she's doing both at the same time. I don't know how she's doing that.
Me too. So what were the 3 words that she described herself as?
Well, she described herself as scary, political, and antisocial.
Yeah, I can see that side
No,
of her.
As someone who has known her for years, I think I totally disagree with these 3 words. I was using 3 very different words to describe her.
Pause here. Here's our conversation with Nathan, Jaye, and Angela.
Me, scary, political, antisocial.
I was using 3 totally different words.
Oh my god, do it.
So scary. Oh my God.
Do it.
Leadership, I don't know why she has this strong leadership vibe when it comes, maybe that's her scary. And she's super, super kind to people. And I'm struggling with the 3rd words. I'm actually thinking about cute, but I think she will kill me if I say it's cute.
First, I was cute. The definition of cute is ugly but adorable.
That's not true.
That's not true. It's kind.
I think changes over time, but like the offline conversation that Jaye and I were having on our businesses, right? So Jaye and I were both in K-pop. So he's known his studio is well known, right, for K-pop, and a go-to place to learn K-pop dances as well. But my business is also in K-pop, but we don't kind of clash, even though we have studios.
Different markets.
Yeah, different markets. The way I run the business is so that it works in favor of in a particular system. My way of running, we run it more for the agencies. So our system, our method, how we do things, they're all for the agencies. And dealing with agencies, they're political stuff, right? So not necessarily as in international relations, political stuff, but just the handling and all that relationship management and all that is very different.
I think the major difference is, like, Angela, you're very much involved with organizations and businesses. For me, it's more about the people. Like, I want to make a community or a place where people feel welcome or happy and build relationships between individuals. So I'm more for, like, the student, I guess. But for you, it's more about making the connections and being able to propel those students, therefore, further along in that kind of corporate kind of structure.
I actually wanted to know a little bit more about Jaye. Like, why Jaye described himself just some guy.
Okay, maybe just some guy was a bit of a... Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, I'll change my 3 words to just have fun. I think that's maybe a better reflection of, like, my philosophy in terms of personality and business. I think, you know, business is not necessarily fun. There's obviously a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of, you know, commitment, a lot of things that aren't fun. But I think if you're not having fun and you're not providing a service that is fun, it's very hard to maintain that passion and that drive to keep going over a long time.
Yeah.
Like, you have to, like, enjoy what you're doing. And you can find fun in a lot of different ways. Like, you can derive fun from, you know, profit or, like, you know, success or, like, you know, networking or all that kind of stuff. But whatever you're doing in business, you have to have fun doing it, right? You have to take the enjoyment out of it. So, yeah.
Nathan, are you having fun?
Yeah, definitely. Why not?
Are you thinking about changing your 3 words as well, or do you want to explain a little bit further about your 3 words of you?
My 3 words. So obviously, foodie is like, okay, I'm really enjoying having the food, and I think that's the way that I express my thoughts. Because when I'm having food, I actually come up with some, you know, actual thoughts about my business. I don't know why, but when I taste sweet food,
That's your meditation.
Yeah, okay. During the whole day, I've done maybe this or that wrong or this or that right, or what I can do for tomorrow or something. I think the sweet is something that really can stimulate my thoughts and my creativity and things like that. Well, for doing like content stuff, I really, you know, have to keep passion about different like trends and things like that. So that's what I think I do as a foodie. But for like the enthusiasm, that's what I think I agree with Jaye, because enthusiasm is like, okay, you are always passionate about your business, your life, and you have to connect your life with your business. Well, it doesn't mean that you don't separate the life and business. It means that sometimes they can integrate with each other. So like when I'm talking with someone like you guys, and that can stimulate my thoughts about what I can put into the young generation, like to create more attractive content for like specific target market or something. And so that's part of my life, but that's not my work apparently. And then for the first one, the busy, and that's quite apparent. Well, I'm a parent guy. I'm straightforward, and so I describe anything that's come up into my mind at the first point. So for busy, I was busy. So I'm busy, and then that's all.
End of story.
Yeah, thank you for coming to our podcast. During your busy schedule, thank you everyone for doing that.
Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, well,
Like, we literally start this for fun.
even now, it's still probably it's a lifestyle of listening to
Yeah,
us.
like, we actually didn't think we'll turn this into any, like, kind of business-like thing. Then as we start kind of doing it and becoming more invested into it, we both like people who do. I think when we do something, we don't want to be half done. We want to do it like well. And then it's like there's a balance between the amount of money, the amount of time we put into this, and thinking about sustainability. If we are not generating anything back emotionally or financially, then how do we sustain this? So that's where the conversation starts kicking. That sort of got me thinking about, am I too unrealistic or be childish, just kind of follow my passion, spending a lot of time doing things.
Oh, I'm sure all three of us, like all of us here, are doing what we're doing because it's what we want to do. And there's obviously the chance of failure or the chance of, it not working. And it may be a waste of time. But as long as you are enjoying doing it and you go for it, then at least you tried, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And then I know, Angela, you kind of put your business as a way, it's like political, that sort of thing. I heard from KaKa, actually, like she was saying, like she really admire you for how much care you give to the kids and the parents. And that's really, like, touching. Can you, yeah.
Because I think I've gone to enough meetings overseas, and it's well known within the entertainment industry, and there's a reason why there's a Me Too movement, right? So it got me thinking how we can better protect young talents, not necessarily just girls but boys, and to look after their well-being while they're pursuing their dreams of being a trainee or an idols. So this is where the care factor really comes in. So I just want to make sure that the parents, the young talents are looked after. They know what they're dealing with. We make sure that the care factor is in there, and this is why I talk about being political. And
I actually interesting about that because Jaye, because your business is also a people business as well. Because when you said building community, it's all about people. So, what do you have any particular value you want your community to lead by, apart from having fun? And
to be honest, having fun is really the most important thing, especially for dance. I mean, it's a fun activity, and you want people to come away from it feeling good about themselves, feeling happy, enjoying. That doesn't mean it's not hard. Like, obviously, if you want to get better at something, you do have to work hard at it. But ideally, every step along the way, you should be having fun. You should be enjoying it, or enjoying the progress, or enjoying the process, or enjoying the part of it. I reckon Angela's students also have a lot of fun and enjoy it, right? Like, they're also...
they're scared of me.
Yeah.
They're very scared of me. Like if you walk into a studio, be like, "Hi, Jaye." I walk into the studio, "Peace."
Wait, why are they scared of you?
Because I'm like the discipline mistress.
How?
It comes with that authority, right? So you're making sure that because ours is different, right? We are grooming them so that they're going for audition, they're going to be selected or casting for agencies and stuff. So it's not about fun for us. It's about you working hard, getting that move right, working with your team, getting that team performance correct. And then for me, it's like, don't waste time. You don't have time. So I come in, it's date silence.
Right. You don't have time, so how old is too old to be a trainee?
16, 17.
God.
So because I think before, and both Angela and Jaye just talking about, as a founder, each of them all seems to have a pretty strong personal value, and they're trying to bring some of this value into their business. So I wanted to know from Nathan, are you bringing any of your sort of own personal value or individual sort of memo to when you're running your business as well?
I guess it's the honesty, because I always want to make sure that everything is apparent and disparate, so that both my clients and my target markets, they can feel that, okay, this is what I want to express, and I don't change it, as the time goes by. So that's kind of my bottom line, because I don't lie to anyone, especially my clients.
You mean your girlfriend or boyfriend?
I'm single.
Thanks for the extra info content.
Yeah, but if I have a partner, I can't guarantee I will always be honest.
I really want to move into the next session, if that's okay, because I think I want everyone to get the opportunity to talk about your business in a little bit more structured way. So the next game we are going to do is we're actually going to get everyone to do a quick business pitch, which you have 40 seconds. Everyone go under 40 seconds. And in your business pitch, you have to cover about what your company do, and why your company is unique in that particular space that you are operating in, and what are your what benefit you are bringing for your customers, and who are your customers.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who's the audience of the pitch?
Our listeners, who are the
Asian
millennials in Australia. All right, perfect. Okay, let's get started. Anyway, so we are going to actually pick the order is going to be random. So me and TingTing is also going to pick.
Oh, you're also going to do it? Okay, cool.
But we don't know who is going to do it, so we're going to paper, scissors, rods as well. Do you want to do it?
I'm really bad.
Okay,
it's part of the game.
All right, everyone else pick a card first. Why is she still? So who's number one actually?
I'm number one. I'm prefacing this by saying my pitch is for a customer who might want to come to my studio as a dancer.
Correct, yes. Let's go.
Start the time.
It's already started.
It's already started. Hi, my name is Jaye. I'm in Crossover Dance Studios. If you're out there and you're interested in dance, we're a community-based drop-in adults dance studio. So just come and have fun. We're not a place that you need to enroll in a term. You don't have to be the best dancer, although we can make you one and you can train to become better. But if you want to have fun and you want to enjoy, you want to learn some dance that you can use and have fun, we're the place to go. We're really fun, we're really accessible, it's really easy, and we'd love to have you dance with us. And how much time is that? Hey!
Exactly. That's awesome. Maybe 40 seconds too long. Maybe I'm going to give you 35 seconds. That's right. Let me try
I
it.
got a discount because of you.
All right, let's do it.
Can I just say how good that is?
Yeah, let's do
No, hey, you haven't heard Nathan and Angela's yet. They're going to blow mine out of the water.
I just know how much mine was bad, okay? I don't care about how good they are. I already know mine's gonna be like the worst in this.
No, it's going to be good.
Let me cry in the corner.
But maybe this is the difference, right? This is something that I have to do to people daily, right? I have to tell people coming in or emailing, you have to tell them one-to-one.
So now, Angela, let's go. 35 seconds on the clock.
Hi, I'm Angela. So I'm the founder for the Academy. It's a company that is basically good for recruiting talents for Korean and Chinese entertainment agencies and TV shows as well. So if you have young talents between 6 to 16 years old, come to us. We will look at you. We will train you up.
Sorry.
See, that was fantastic.
35.
That was great, yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
That's 35 seconds.
See, you could have used the extra 10 seconds.
Yeah, if you have 4 seconds, 15 seconds, you'll be fine. So maybe we should give Nathan 30 seconds. No, I don't know.
And then 25.
I think that was a great pitch, Angela.
Yeah, that's actually really good. All right,
My turn.
that's your turn. TingTing, okay. Make us proud. All right. So are you happy with that? Start.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm TingTing, and I'm the co-host at TingTing and KaKa. TingTing and KaKa is Australia's first bilingual podcast made for Chinese millennials living in Australia. Our vision is to bring a home away from home for all of our listeners.
Well done. Well played. Nathan.
It already started?
Already start. Yes.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Nathan. We are the Ace Brand Communication and Defense Media Consulting Group. We are one of the top media channels in Australia, but we mainly focus on the Chinese community. And we also provide integrated marketing communication solutions for our clients. Our clients ranging from property, real estate, education, government agencies, and all the way to even just the commodity groups. So if you are looking to target the Chinese community both in China and Australia, then bet on us. Thank you.
Oh, you have a few seconds. It's very inaccurate.
How many seconds that one is?
Okay.
I think everyone's pitches were excellent.
I know.
Yeah. I think it's time for you to pitch though.
Well,
Do you have a different version?
Yes.
What have I missed out? What have I left out in the pitch that you would have said?
no, because we write the pitch together, so that's what we memorize. Exactly the same thing provided on the community. I guess
So this is all part of being an entrepreneur where you got to pitch at any
Yeah.
time. So this is a good trial. So now you got to pitch. And you have 30 seconds.
wow. Oh my
Elevator
god.
pitch.
Angela's going to change the clock now.
The amount of discipline, that's not very scary.
So, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to be ready with your pitch at any time.
Yeah, sure. I think it's just because it's going to be a bit boring for people, it's because it's probably going to be exactly what TingTing said. So, hi, my name is Charlotte. So I'm the KaKa, basically in the TingTing and KaKa podcast. And we started TingTing and KaKa just this year, starting from the two friends, and we really wanted to provide a really safe space for all the fellow Chinese millennials in Australia, because we believe this particular group have facing some unique problems and challenges, and we're also super proud about some of our unique success as well. We want to celebrate together as a community and also address some of these problems together. So really hope TingTing and KaKa is going to provide you a home away from home.
You cheated with that clock. Did I say there's gonna be an ad in the middle? 你是不是也有一个播客梦，却不知从何开始？
跟着TingTing和KaKa一起使用 Anchor 吧，它会自动上传分布每一集，这样你就可以在 Spotify、Apple Podcast 等各大平台听到TingTing and KaKa，真的省心又省力呢，
而且页面又很好看。
还是免费的哦。Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
来呀，来 Anchor 呀，播客加上必备。
But then can I hear a little bit about the stories behind like how you craft your pitch? The first time when you actually come up with that particular vision and missions and target audience, what's that process like for you?
Actually, I don't have an investor, so I haven't actually pitched to like an investor or something. Yeah. But all of my pitches, I think, are related with the client side. Like I pitch to the clients instead of like the investor or something because
B2C.
Yeah, wow.
we are always doing the pitch to build the trust for our clients and trying to get their like thoughts and returns about what our pitch should be, and then we can adjust it, and then it always like goes by adjustment, and that's all what I think. Yeah.
Is there any particular really memorable, like a good pitch or bad pitch that you remember, experience that you remember with your clients?
Yeah, sure. I think the first pitch was definitely the worst one. Yeah, that was dated back to like the 2016. That was the first time I started my business, and then I pitched to one of the top like real estate companies in Sydney. I don't know why they gave me a chance, but I feel really grateful about that chance. Then I prepared for like half an hour pitch, and I did the PPT myself, and then I pitched all of my ideas and my thoughts and how to improve their marketing communication channel and how I can do to increase their brand awareness and those stuff. But when I start the pitch right away, and they was like, I have done everything wrong because they are not asking for like to do the promotion for them. They're just trying to know something about our company, and they are not looking for like a brand new company to do the promotion. So I was like, I didn't do enough research, and that was quite embarrassing for my first pitch. Yeah.
Wow.
So you didn't get a job, or?
I think he did.
No. No, unfortunately, yeah. But I was trying to pitch them this year.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Oh, wow.
I think everyone's first experience is like rough, right? Because we just don't know. Like we don't have that experience in doing it.
Yeah,
But that's how we get better at it. And I guess look how far he's come now. He's so great at it now. So.
Yeah. Wow. But what about you guys? Was there any backstories about you guys, Pete?
We only want to hear about the bad stories. It's like, what's the bad story?
If they pitch to the BTS, I don't know, like one of the Prime Minister or something, I wanted to hear that. Dude.
I did a very bad pitch for seed funding, and that's because the pitch was done in Mandarin. It was to Chinese government officials and Chinese venture capitalists, and you only got so it was like one of those entrepreneur week that you're invited to, and they tell you that, hey, we got a slot tomorrow for you, now you got 12 hours to prepare your pack, like literally 12 hours to prepare
What do
your
they
pack.
want? Like, do they want to partner with you, or they just
No, so
interview?
you got your chance now to get funding. But you got 12 hours to prepare your PPT pack, and all my pack were in English. So I have to do everything in Mandarin and pitch in Mandarin. Like, technical terms like competitive advantage, who is your main, what is your goal and your objective, all these key technical words. So this is where the ethnicity is really interesting, because they look at you, it's like, hey, you're Chinese looking, so you can definitely pitch in Mandarin, right? And then you just go, no. So it's like, I can have conversational Mandarin, but to pitch in Mandarin and to write the whole pack in Mandarin was a totally different story. And then that's the point where they go, oh, but I thought you were Chinese. I'm like, but no.
But are you getting better now?
No, you got to be like really practicing a lot, like the technical words, all these Mandarin technical words, and even just remembering all those technical words, right? Because like we were chatting just now. I say, oh, you're into rapping now. I was like, oh, 说唱. It's like I try not to use the English word whenever I have a Mandarin conversation. So if like it's vocal, it's rapping, I use all the Chinese words so that I can remember it. So next time, like if I need to do an elevator pitch in Asia, I can just go yeah.
So how did you know it was bad? Like maybe they loved it. You just
Because I think you just know, right, when you do a bad pitch. You don't need people to tell you, right, Nathan? You just know. I'm sure Nathan, you got the
Sometimes
experience.
their faces are so embarrassing, and you can feel that.
Yeah.
And you just want to quit the room and run away and just don't get back anyway.
But Nathan, is that similar situation for you because you are essentially speak Mandarin speaker, but now you have to pitch in English. Is that does it cause similar challenging for you as well?
For Mandarin, I don't think so because I'm a Mandarin speaker. That's my native language, so I do it quite fluently. And then maybe one issue should be that I have been away from China, for a long time because we live in Australia. So sometimes I'm not that familiar with the cultural trends currently in China. So sometimes you can't get into the talk with those, maybe Chinese businessmen too much. Because they don't actually know how they think about particular issue back in China. So that could be like an issue, but it's because of the cultural stuff. It's not because of the language stuff or something. I think English should be another thing. Yeah.
What about you? Do you have to pitch in your native?
Luckily for me, I only speak English. So I've never had to try a pitch in another language. Now there have been times where you do need to pitch to someone who is from a different cultural background or speaks another language. I just go at it with English, that's all I got.
I was thinking, come on, Jaye can't fail a pitch because dance is the universal language. You just start breaking.
But usually when you're pitching, you're not really using dance to do it. It's mostly the words.
So was it not possible to pitch with dance?
Well, okay, you did mention this, so I don't know if you wanted me to bring it up. So you mentioned pitching to the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
So I do have a story where I was part of a team that was invited to go to Parliament House in Canberra, and basically we were part of, I think I can say this, I think it's fine, we were part of SBS, and SBS was looking for funding, SBS Pop Asia specifically. So they assembled dancers to go to Parliament House and to dance K-pop in front of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. And that was their pitch to get them to spend more money on SBS Pop Asia. So yeah, since you brought it up, that was one example. I think they did get funding, so it was successful. And we used dance to do it. We didn't say nothing. We were just dancing. And then afterwards, the cabinet members were like, "What is this?" It's K-pop. Oh, K-pop, popular now. Okay, cool. We'll give them more funding, I suppose. So.
See, lessons learned. If you want to get into business, start dancing.
But having said that, we were only part of the pitch. We're not. I'm sure SBS had the actual pitch. We're only as a visual aid to help the people understand.
So it's not always PPT.
Yeah.
On-site visual assistants.
Yeah.
What were people's reaction in Parliament House? I'm imagining Prime Minister. Who's the Prime Minister at the time?
I think it was Julia Gillard.
Julia Gillard. So what's Julia Gillard's face when she saw K-pop dancing in Parliament House?
There was a lot of confusion. First of all, there was a lot of confusion as to who we were. What are these people doing here? Why are they here at this thing? And then, as we started the presentation, and then the music started, and then we started dancing. People were like, "Oh, I understand. Okay, they're going to do this thing." But I would say confusion would be the first part. But confusion can lead to curiosity, which can lead to inspiration, which can lead to funding. So yeah. Hopefully,
What's that again? The way to funding? Confusion to curiosity. I need to know this. The way to funding.
We need to confuse them every single time, rapping every single meeting in the future when we pitch to anyone.
Asian bosses in the house, yo! So we talked quite deeply about the values and stuff and the business. But how did it all start?
Yeah, sure. So for me, I wasn't really sure about why I started my business at the first point because when I was thinking about doing entrepreneur stuff, I was working at a real estate company and working as a project manager assistant. And then during that time, I didn't really think that I'm kind of a guy that will become an entrepreneur. When I was stepping into a ceremony stuff, because real estate company, they usually do like the offline events, like to promote different like real estate like project or something. And then when I stepped into that event that night, and then the sales manager said, okay, you have to do the sales as well. And then I was like, oh, bullshit. Why should I do sales as well? Because I'm just a project manager assistant. I should just manage the project well in my mind at the time. But then sales manager like, no, you have to do it as well. Then I just quit the room. And then that time, I don't have a job. So apparently I have to do something. And then I just called one of my, which is currently my partner. And then I called him and I was like, okay, I don't have a job, Jason and Steve. So what should I do? They said, okay, you are thinking about new media, right? I was like, yeah, definitely. So shall we do a new media film? And then I started right away.
Wow.
But it's honestly true. Yeah, that's.
Who are the other person you call? Like, what are the relationship to you?
One of them that time was Jason, and he was just one of my friends. And then Steve.
Is it Jason I know? Is it Sam Jason?
Yeah, that's the Jason I said. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the other one, which is Steve, and he was my partner, but he quit the current operations because he has got like a full-time job to do, so that then he quit. I did freelance job for him, so he was like maybe my boss in that way, but I shouldn't call it now, but yeah. And Steve was my boss that time, and Jason was my friend, and then we started the company right away that night. We went to a Japanese cuisine, and we had a lot of food because I'm a foodie. I can only like think when I have food, and then okay, so we do it, and then we registered the company with ASIC right away the day after that night. Yeah, and it was Fancy Media. Yeah.
Wow.
Where did the name Fancy come from?
We did fantastic solutions for our fantastic clients. So Fancy is short for fantastic.
Wow.
I think it's a great name. Like you said it, like, wow, this is a good name for like a company.
Even the Chinese version of it is called Fanxing, correct? It's about the star.
Fanxing, yeah, many stars. In English, it's many stars, but in China, it's Fanxing, yeah.
So is there any meaning behind that name as well, or?
Honestly, really, no.
That's a fancy name. Okay, let's use it.
Yeah. It's our company is really, have like the source of like being simple and straightforward, and that's what we are keeping doing. Yeah.
Wow. If there's you, Fancy Media Consulting Group, and then there is another company who also provide very similar services, why should they choose you instead of them?
I think because I shouldn't say the price issue, but I think we're doing something quite straightforward. That's what I always explain to my clients, because if I can't do it, I won't make you any promise. So if you really want us to do it, we will try all we can, and we will devote all our efforts and our resources. And I think in this industry, resources mean a lot. So I can guarantee what resources I have, what channels I have, like KOLs in the C side, if in the B side, what I can introduce you to, and things like that. Yeah.
So it comes from that trust, come from that network. And I think because you have done a lot of work for actually some quite big businesses, so obviously the success builds upon other successes. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Jay, how did that all start?
So when I started the studio, it was a very different time. Our studio is 10 years old now, so we've been going for 10 years. So there wasn't a lot of what we did at the time. I guess I've mentioned it before. So we teach K-pop like as a drop-in open class for people to have fun. We were the first people to do it in English. There's a lot of people doing it out there in like Korean people doing it in Korean and stuff. But back then was just, I guess, the start of the big popularity, the boom of K-pop, right? And there were people who spoke English who weren't Korean who wanted to learn it. So we were the first people that did that. We're not just a K-pop studio, we're a street dance studio. So also we were doing breaking, popping, locking. Like I've traveled over the world to dance in a lot of different countries, and I've seen how they did it in other places, and I wanted to kind of emulate that in Australia, because at the time there wasn't any studios that were doing it kind of like that. Now
Doing K-pop?
K-pop, and also other street styles, and also focusing on that. Obviously there's a lot of studios, at the time 10 years ago, there were a lot of studios who were doing like classical dance, jazz, ballet, that kind of stuff, but we really wanted to focus on street styles, which were really big in Asia and the States and Europe, but wasn't really represented in Australia. So that's why I started at the time. Now it's a bit different story. Like there's lots.
How did you get into dance in the first place? Is dance always your passion?
Not really. I didn't dance when I was young. I know a lot of people start dancing when they're like kids, right? Like at the agency, like they start when they're very young. I didn't dance when I was young. I only started like in high school, maybe towards the end of high school, and then uni I got more into it. But it was just something I really enjoyed, and I decided I wanted to pursue it a bit further. Wanted to become better at dance, then wanted to teach dance, and then kind of naturally led into maybe opening a studio about dance.
So you start with K-pop?
No. I didn't start with K-pop, no. Back then, we're talking about like ages ago.
Oh my God.
Back then, K-pop wasn't the big thing. J-pop was the big thing.
Oh, really?
Everybody was really into J-pop. I think at the time, Japan had a very huge cultural significance, but Japan is very closed, and they don't actually push it as much. And then Korea went through a time where they really pushed out their culture, right?
Yes.
It's K-pop. Wow, look, everybody loves K-pop. Now everybody loves K-pop. You know what I mean? So,
But how did you come across K-pop initially then?
the music
It was
videos.
shiny.
It was shiny.
Oh.
It was shiny. Shiny was... Okay, I won't say Shiny was the first group that I saw. I was probably Big Bang or something like that. Or even going back. Yeah, I think I saw some of that kind of stuff. I remember one of the first K-pop things we ever did was there was a Korean guy, and he wanted to enter a Korean talent competition. He was singing in Korean. He's Korean, and he was looking for backup dancers. And he's like, I'm going to do this song, and I want you to backup dance the K-pop dance for this song. And so we learned it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And it led me to see more. Yeah.
What was the song?
It's a long time ago.
Oh, never
I
mind.
think.
You can't even remember the song you danced to Prime Minister, so...
The song you danced to the Prime Minister, I was thinking about it after you asked me about it before. I can't remember.
It's not gonna be Girls' Generation.
It was not. It's not Girls' Generation.
I can understand the confusion. It's like,
I think the song we danced with the Korean artist was by Jaye from Big Bang, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Why crossover?
Why the name of our studio is crossover? Well, a crossover is different styles being able to cross together and become something bigger. Like, now they use the word crossover a lot in things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or something like that, right? It's different properties crossing over into one thing that's really great or really big. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to be able to have people who do one style of dance be able to cross over into another style of dance, work together. It's a crossing over of styles.
Wow.
Wow.
Have your dreams for and vision about crossover have been changed in the last 10 years?
What do you mean, sir?
Because you must starting of the crossover because of your passions and everything for the dance, and you want to pursue your dream with dance. And then now 10 years later, is that still the same? Is the love for the dance still the same?
Yes, I mean, I think if you like dance, you're always going to like dance. You know, I'm older now, so I don't dance as much, but I can see the passion and the enjoyment that people get who are younger who do it, and friends and other people who are still around the same age. People enjoy dance, and you're always going to enjoy dance and appreciate something that you love. But I guess your mindset about it does change as the years go by.
Yeah, but don't you thinking about starting a business is scary during the time?
Of course. I'm sure everyone, it's like when you started your business, you're like, oh man, is this going to work? There's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of risk as well. But I think we said it slightly earlier, you just got to go for it. If you want to do it, it's not going to happen by itself. You have to try. And if it fails, so what? You know what I mean? Okay, you lose some time, you lose some money, but at least you tried to do what you wanted to do. And look, everyone here is successful, so be like us, guys.
We probably didn't know the people who didn't successful. People probably didn't even know them. They probably just trying to hide their sorrow.
We filter out the unsuccessful ones for the podcast.
But I reckon if you start a business, if you've got the drive and the wherewithal to start it, and it's not successful, you'll keep trying. You won't just stop, right? Like especially if you've got an idea you believe in or a passion for something, you'll keep going until you do succeed. Or you die, I guess. One of the two.
Inspiring.
No. I don't think everyone can be successful in business. But I think everyone, if you care and you're passionate, you might as well give it a go. Why not?
Yeah. What about you? How did everything started?
Is that the first in Australia to do like a K-pop trainee sort of institute?
Maybe the concept of a K-pop bootcamp could be a first. But whether what we're doing for agencies now to be scouting talents, probably not. So when we started, so the academy is it's a short name, right? So the academy full name in our business name is the Academy 学园 or 学院. I haven't decided yet. The spelling is the same, right? But I haven't decided what's the Chinese characters for it. I'll decide later. But yeah, so
First of all, what makes you want to start a business?
I think it's a midlife crisis or a quarter life crisis. So I'm not as impulsive as Nathan. Well, I mean, he registered overnight. I didn't do that. I certainly didn't register my business overnight. And I had 3 years of research done before I registered my business.
Oh.
But it's definitely a crisis. Like, you know, I had a...
What was your job at the time?
It's like my job at the time and now is still the same. So I'm not as successful as Nathan and Jaye because because it's like they have their business and that's it. Whereas I still have a day job, right, to keep the business going. And financially, we just gone black this financial year. Last financial year for a event. So for me, it was like a health scare where the doctors say, no, you don't really have a lot of time in your life, right? You have certain limits and that was it. And there is no cure. So that was the reason why it sort of got me thinking. I'm going, oh, you know, maybe working in the bank really isn't my thing. I mean, I'm good in IT, I'm good in, you know, cybersecurity and all that, but it's not my passion. It's not what I think I want to finish with, right? So therefore I go, okay, so what am I really passionate about? And I was like, oh, I love entertainment industry. I personally would love to be an actor since young, but I never had that opportunity. And then especially I think Jaye will probably agree, back in those days in Australia, you don't really get a lot of casting call for agents.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, right. So you don't get that connection to Asia agencies or Asia companies to get all this casting call and stuff, which is how I got started and say, hey, there are talents in Asia. You know, Jaye would have seen a lot of good dancers come through the door, and I thought, well, maybe that's the gap. So that's how I started the company. So that's why my target is very specific, whereby it's to actually allow us as a job, as the, you know, the platform to hop on to Asia, and you know, go towards the dream. They're not Hollywood, so we don't look at Hollywood. We don't look at American market. We look purely at the Asian market. It's like, you know, this is take this as a platform to, you know, go into that career that you wanted or that dream that you aspire. And the reason why we work with K-pop is because it's booming, right? So the popularity of people wanting to be a K-pop idol is there. And with the current stereotyping of what classified as a K-pop idol, it meant that a lot of the Aussie Asians qualified. Right, so
because the K-pop industry is opening more to international markets.
Yes. That is a sort of something that prompted or allowed us to capitalize on this popularity.
So basically, there's like a health condition.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned your dream was, you know, entertainment, and you did actually go on to try being like an actress.
Yes.
Like, what happened there? Like, so you didn't just become an actress; you became like you started a place for you know, basically
the next
idols.
generations of
I found that I have very poor memory. I can't remember script.
So that's what stopped you from being an actress.
That, and I think I was just really bad in acting. That's all.
I see. But did you enjoy it? Like, were you like, oh my god, now I'm living my dream?
No, I like the whole process of learning how to be an actress and all that. But for me, I think just my personality, I probably would never made it in the acting world.
So it's kind of being realistic about...
Yeah, very realistic for myself and my capability to be a good actress. Like it's hard. Acting, you have to really be able to let go of who you are for that moment, for that script. But I find that it's so hard, and especially for like crime scenes, or where you got to be acting as the weaker person. No, that's not me. So what's there to cry about? This is such a small thing. So that's how I got started. But yeah, I think just go for it is what Jaye said. But in saying so, I have the financials after working in the banks to make sure that the first 3 years, even though financially we're not viable, it's still okay because it's a 6-figure sum that you dump in, right? And I can imagine Jaye's stress as well. So he got infrastructure, like studio rental. I don't, because I know I can't handle that at the beginning, right? It's a big sum of money, right? Rent is like, I don't know, 50% of your cost or something. I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it. So everything for me was purely either online or hire as we required. We could never start off doing a studio. Only, it's like, this is what our 5th year. Only in the 5th year, then we have a resident studio, and it's not even our building. So it's still not the same kind of stress that I would get, like Jaye would have with an actual studio attached to his name all the time. So very, very different. Very different approach.
Yeah, and your studio is like at this prime location.
We were very lucky. At the time, I was looking for a place, and it happened that this building is a great location, a prime location, but had been empty for a long time for whatever reason. I still don't really know.
Oh, somebody died there.
I feel like
No, it's a rumor. Don't believe that. There's no one died there.
No one had been renting that property for like 5 years or so before. So I think we were able to get it for a reasonable price at that time. And we've been, I guess, a good tenant because like it's been alright, yeah. So, but I as Angela's saying, there's a lot of upfront costs, and it takes a long time to like break even because you have to invest at the start. But hey, that's business.
Hold that thought because I think we're basically taking a break now. But I think when we come back, let's actually talking a little bit about some of these during the journey. What the most difficult challenges everyone meet as well.
I have never gone over the difficult challenges.
Now's your chance.
Yes.
Join the conversation with TingTing and KaKa via Instagram, YouTube, or email us at tingtingandkaka@gmail.com. If you like what we do, please subscribe to our podcast and recommend us to your friends. 来呀，来闲聊。